Good evening, my name's Alex Campbell.
I'm Jasper.
And I'm Mark Palmer.
And you're watching Dissecting Vikings season finale review. First of all, I like how Olaf set up this whole thing as Ragnarok. Episode was called Ragnarok. I feel like that's ruined because of Thor Ragnarok. Every time I think of it, I just think of that terrible, terrible Marvel movie. No, it was alright.
They were never going to capture Ragnarok properly, though. Come on.
It's high fantasy with the wolf eating the sun and everything.
I feel like if you're ever going to make a movie about Ragnarok, you'd want to actually follow it very strictly to what it is supposed to be about and make it as ridiculous as it's supposed to be.
I don't know. Like,
how much of it's actually what it was?
No, I don't know how much of it is literally translatable.
It's crazy high fantasy.
Well, like you said, it's like a wolf eating the sun and yada yada yada. I don't know. It'd probably be alright as an animated short.
Yeah.
Or a music video or something, but I don't know if it'd translate to.
Well, you need to set up the whole mythology. You need to do a series and set up the characters.
There's a book that's relatively popular that I haven't bothered to read about Norse mythology that's doing the rounds.
Oh, by Neil.
Whatever that person is.
I've seen it.
It's on YouTube. The whole audiobook is on YouTube.
It's
find
3 hours
illegally. Yeah. I've just seen it. It keeps popping up in my recommended. I'm like, oh, I don't think that's supposed to be there.
Fenrir, the wolf, who sees the sun between his jaws and swallow her.
So, the actual practical wall I thought was fucking awesome. There were little to no.
The palisade.
The palisade.
Yeah.
The palisade.
Yeah, that's like a wooden wall.
Okay.
That's what a wooden wall is called.
Yeah, and it was a physically.
Yeah. They did at least build a section of wall.
Yeah, there was a reasonable stretch.
Yeah, and there was a gate and shit. They actually built.
Yeah.
A piece of wall.
Yeah, it was physical.
Nice to actually see them use.
Well, when they're gonna try and scale it and stuff,
you have to actually say it was nice to see them use actual wood to make a fence. Back in the day, everything was
physical. They built it. Well, they didn't have CGI, so they just built shit.
When they're gonna build Kattegat.
Did you see how fucking big that was?
It's like a fucking city at this point.
Yeah, it's like the main trading city in fucking Scandinavia by this point. It's got 5 docks and all.
But seeing it and hearing about it is so fucking
and it's cool to see the history of why the wall was built at this point and the expansion and what the different cycles of history were in each. Understanding of how the city's expanded and stuff. That's cool.
Yeah, there's been different events.
It'd be cool to go back and watch the scene at the end, when the actual Ragnar's actually sitting up there staring over it.
I actually did, because I was like, are they new scenes of Travis Fimmel? I was like, nah, they must from season 3.
Season 3,
yeah. And I went and back and watched it, and it was way smaller. Exact same shot landscape.
Like a mud hut.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, they use a physical whatever it is.
You should totally cut in a shot of both.
I'll do it now, the comparison.
That
I thought there was more focus on tactics and intellect too, rather than last half season. It was some airy-fairy, ethereal kind of thing.
I would have liked a lot. We got a lot of time spent on what's her face getting choked. Rather than just the battle. I would have liked to spend more time.
Yeah, I mean character moments are important as well.
But how much can you show of a battle which is completely one-sided?
Well, see that's the problem though, right? I would have liked it in.
They could have extended the part where Bjorn broke in.
Always with these battles, every single time my criticism is always all of this character development, all of these interactions, all of that could have been done on the battlefield while the battle is being fought. and that could have all been incorporated into the battle plans.
Well,
and
they
the
did that with
strategies.
Bjorn and Harold.
They did do that with Bjorn and Harold, and that was good to see them doing that. But like, I would have liked to spend more time with them just doing that.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was only like a 3 or 4 minute scene. Like,
But this is like the end of the This is the finale, right? We should get like a fucking
I remember-
episode-long battle. I want to fucking.
I get it, but I mean, when you think about it, we're supposed to care more about that than we do.
Oh yeah, no.
Do you know what I
nobody
mean?
cares about
From
any
the
of these
writer's
people.
perspective, he thinks we care.
I mean, I
You know
felt
what I mean?
I felt
I know what you
Fiverr when he strangled her.
I love you, Freydis. I love you.
I mean, I know he and he did a good job there. So he's like, I love you.
Yeah.
I like the execution of it, like how he dropped to the floor and used his arms. He wasn't relying on his little gimpy legs.
She could have taken her time to escape, but instead she waits there. I understand she wanted to see the look in his eyes or whatever when she tells him she betrayed him or whatever. But
It was kind
he's
of
gonna
a
fucking kill you.
No, well, as I said, it should have been. I don't think she had enough. I mean, obviously, he killed the kid, but I reckon it should have. Yeah, well, I said to you, it should have been like a Once Were Warriors scene. Like he should have been a little.
You know what I should do now? A supercut of all the times you wanted more violence towards women in these Vikings movies.
It's a realistic representation of history.
The times, yeah.
Well, not just history. You go back and you look at the way women are treated through history. It's absolutely horrible.
No, it is.
Yeah,
Even in the Bible.
and men.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We can get into that debate if you really want to.
Jordan
But I'm just saying. Let's see some like realistic violence.
I mean, he choked her to death. I mean, it.
Yeah, well, see,
It
even,
could be
even that's
better.
not particularly realistic.
To be
Yeah.
It's pretty hard to choke someone to death. Normally they just fall conscious.
Yeah, they pass out and then
Yeah,
you
but after they pass
keep
out, you can
on
still keep
going.
choking.
Yeah, that's so like it's even that's not really all that realistic. It would have been more realistic if he just like stabbed her in the kidney or something.
In the,
Well, she had perfect timing to stab him in the throat. Why would she not have a knife or something?
I don't know. She kind of.
I feel like I would have.
She's a woman. You're not very smart.
Are you going to deny it?
No. On the body of our dead son, no.
I'm not touching that with a 40
But yeah, no, like just the little things, like Harold and Bjorn had different approaches to breaching the wall, and the idea of the war paint to differentiate them.
Yeah.
How good was that moment when Björn was like down and there was the guy on top and Harold just standing there smiling?
Yeah.
I knew he was going to
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
come
he had
to,
to.
but I was not expecting him to get knifed though.
Gee, I mean, yeah, that was a
Yeah, he
satisfying.
took a good,
It was in the
good
wrong side
slide in the
though,
gut.
so you know he's going to
Yeah, and it was a bit too.
He's
low.
not gonna die, but I mean, back in those days,
Seriously.
like
Well,
that,
yeah, he could get infected.
Yeah,
it could be
man.
a serious.
But
that was a long
why?
knife.
no,
He's gonna survive. I hope, after Ragnar had his spill, that he kind of took a toll on him and he was never really the warrior he was. I hope Harold's like that.
Well, Harold, yeah, but I mean, as long
because
as he's good
Harold
at
did do the
commanding-
Ragnar thing off the wall.
The thing
Yeah,
about
he
it,
had a
though,
spill and then he almost, he pretty much got ran through. I'm pretty sure it would be
looked
fucking
like it.
close.
The thing about it though is Ragnar was good with leading his armies and shit like that. Harold really isn't.
Well, we haven't
And he
seen
has to-
much of him
Yeah, we
do
haven't
that.
seen
this-
much of
in
it.
the
He's
earlier
always been
seasons. We
someone
got to
else.
see those strategies play out. We got to see that sort of stuff.
He's here with
and now we don't get to see so much of that in the battles, and that's really my.
It's not the
biggest-
pre-planning; you only see the aftermath.
Yeah. Well, it's not even so
and,
much
and
that.
Harold's always in everyone else's shadow in all these battles. You never get to see him with his actual.
Yeah, I'd like to see him step up and be like the main character and do his thing.
Well,
Yeah,
I'd
it's
just
always
like to see
like, I love
someone
Björn or
like,
something.
hey, this is our plan. This is what we're going to do. Like
Yeah.
the plan in this show, this episode was literally, we will split our forces and what did Harold say? An attack with extreme violence.
What about-
that? Was the entirety of the plan.
yeah.
Of their plan, what about Ivor?
Ivor had the plan of okay, once they get he had stages.
he had
He had a whole bunch of shit set
That's
up.
why.
You know.
I mean,
Yeah,
one.
and that scene where they
Yeah.
finally come through and that they're set up with the blacksmith building that extra wall and it
Yeah, it
falls
comes
and locks
down.
them and shit. That was
That
really
was fucking
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, that moment. Bjorn's
But
face.
see, that should have been. I mean, if this was a real battle and you actually had realistic sized armies, you know, like when that happened, that should have been like, okay, well, we're going to keep fighting. There was still an army at the gate. Like that shouldn't have been the.
I don't think their
all and
forces were
end
that
all.
big. They lost a fuck ton of people coming over, and I don't know how many people Olaf had. But wasn't the thing with Vikings like the battles weren't ever that big?
Yeah.
Even the Great Heathen Army was like.
So they weren't that big compared to ancient times when you had
like
hundreds
Romans
of
and
thousands
shit,
of
yeah.
people. Yeah, sure, but you would still have multiple hundreds of people.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, if you were going to try and attack fortifications like that, you wouldn't have taken, 150 people, because what would happen is you'd get killed.
Obliterated.
Yeah, like
Basically what
that's why they built walls like that, because it obliterated
I was
people.
watching it and I was like, you're so used to seeing sieges with like massive stone walls and shit. Like this is just wood, and it's like
Yeah, people could like
I
almost
feel like
climb
I've
it.
always
Dude,
like
they used to build.
always-
This is one of the huge misconceptions, right? They used to build whole fucking castles out of wood, like
Yeah,
that.
right.
Yeah, man. Like, it seems silly to our sensibilities,
No,
but
I mean everything's got to come from somewhere though.
yeah. Well, even just like a lot of castles that we think of as being stone are wooden with
It's like this.
plaster,
Yeah.
like a
Right.
facade.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, I mean, at first when I was watching it, when like Ivar like threw all the oil down and lit everyone on fire and everything, I'm like, he's weakening that fucking wood. Obviously.
No,
it
he's
will-
not. That's the point.
it-
No, but no, he's not. No, he's not. That's the thing. Like again, it comes to this misconception of like how wood burns. You've got to get wood really, really hot before it'll actually start to burn. And so yeah, if it's just got a flame.
No, I'm not talking about the flamethrower. I'm talking when you pour the oil over the
Yeah,
top
even
and lit it on
then,
fire,
even
the
then,
whole door was on fire.
you're talking about logs that are like this.
Yeah,
You've got to
true.
get that in like the middle of a bonfire before it'll actually start to burn.
What did you think of the? Do you know what the blacksmith thing is called? The thing that blows air in, makes
The
it
bellows.
The
Flamethrower.
bellows. What do you think of
Yeah.
the giant bellows
I
thing?
thought that was cool. It didn't do much. But it was
At
fun.
I don't know
first-
how it was working. It was a bit confusing because that thing just blows air.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't know how it was, but it was like blowing flame when they zoomed out. It was literally
Oh, was
blowing
it?
flame.
Yeah, it was like.
which is a
yeah.
bit like.
Well, that
how are
doesn't
they-
make sense.
Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
The whole idea is it's blowing air. onto
Blowing
the
air
flame.
onto the flame,
Yeah, at
yeah.
first I thought it was silly. I was like, I don't know about this, but then I kind of grew.
I thought it was
warmed
cool.
up
Like,
to it.
it was a
a cool
fear
concept.
tactic than it was.
Yeah, it was
It
intimidation.
was very theatrical.
Yeah, it was almost like a dragon in a few
Yeah,
shots.
yeah.
One thing that I thought was satisfying was Magnus's arc. He's like this lost, broken kid who doesn't know his place in the world and confused and confuzzled, trying to like put himself on this ideology and find a group. And then like he does that, but he's not really quite there, and then he just dies.
It's all like,
Finally, when
I've
it
chosen my
oh,
moment.
yeah. I know who I am, and
I actually literally laughed out loud at that point.
Yeah,
I chuckled.
yeah.
I was like,
It was satisfying.
yeah.
I didn't know who I was until right now.
He was not a son of Magnus. Oh, not
Ragnar.
Sorry, Ragnar.
he literally
No,
wasn't.
no,
All
it
she did was
wasn't.
piss on him.
Yeah, she was pissed on him. Timmy thought it was gonna, Steve thought it was gonna be like a red herring thing, where they set it up
Yeah.
so you think he's not, and then they reveal that he actually is.
Nah, he just got narrow.
No, yeah, he was just some.
Well, I feel like they've cut off a lot of dead weight.
I feel like, yeah, they're basically like,
Yeah.
well, I got to do something with this guy. What the fuck can I do? I don't know, make him die in a big battle. There we go, done.
Yeah.
But they could have just let him go into nothingness, and no one would have really cared. No one would have
no,
even
but
thought
no,
twice
dude.
about
It was an interesting idea when it first came up, but I never really connected with the character. I mean, I understand the thing of being like lost and confused and puzzled and then
Yeah,
dying.
he had to hold on to that because that made him this important figure.
That's the
Even though
only
he
thing
was
you had in
nothing.
life. He was rejected and thrown out into the wilderness by everything he loved. Life. It's truly magical.
Life is suffering. That's what Lagatha told us.
Mm.
I'm
was
so
very
glad
nice.
she returned.
Yeah, you said at the end when they rocked up, it felt a bit like fast traveling.
Again.
Again, what do you mean again? This isn't Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but there have been moments of like faster. But then it's always where almost every episode we're trying to sit down and work out the divergent timelines because it doesn't seem to
Yeah,
make
they're
a lot
not
of sense.
traveling at the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, the episode before this one.
They were on a boat.
Well, no, that was the beginning of this episode. The one before this.
Back to back.
They're actually they're out with like King Alfred Wessex, and they say they're going home. And I thought they meant to the Dane settlement.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Too.
Yeah,
And then when I rewatched it after seeing this episode, I was like, oh, okay, it made more sense. So there actually was like that scene, and then on the boat. And I mean, if you look at the distance from fucking England to Norway.
That's a scaled map, Alex.
What?
It's a scaled map. It's not really this big.
I know.
Okay,
but Dragonstone to the Wall is the length of North America.
Right.
If the length of North America is this, so the length from England to fucking Norway is like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's literally only like a. Well, people swim the French Channel.
That has happened on occasion.
Lots of people have. Someone swam it like 8 times. That's the record.
But I feel like that's
you can
just
see.
to France, not to.
No, but I think it's like a 2 or 3 day travel on Viking and shit.
Yeah.
But I did also when they rocked up the end, and it felt like kind of convenient because they Lagatha came with the sword just as the battle had ended. Like
what
just
if
as
that didn't
moment.
happen?
Yeah, when they rock up and Ivar's one.
And like Björn's like on a pot and like fucking head on a spike in front. Oh, here you go, Ivar.
King Ivar. It was satisfying to see Bjorn take this next step and like his character arc though.
Mm.
Yeah, but I felt like he's never really wanted to be king though.
No, he's
Well, I wanted him to go off and become a mercenary in the Middle East and stuff.
But that's not what he does historically.
Yeah, but fuck that.
Oh no, I can't.
As I said, no, I wanted like a serial. Like I wanted to turn into a serial where it's just like Bjorn and the Vikings. Each episode they go to a new place and just slaughter all of the population.
I'll watch that.
Yeah.
But even when he did try going off on his own, it pretty much just ended in his death and having to run away anyway.
Yeah. But I mean, everything takes practice.
Yeah, well that's it.
I don't know, I kind of enjoyed it.
I'm not saying it was wrong. It was like he fucked that. He didn't fuck it up. It's just the way the circumstances went. But
Oh yeah, well same with Ragnar. Ragnar didn't want any of it. He just like randomly
he just wanted to be a
stumbled
farmer.
into everything.
Yeah, he was basically forced into power because the cunt was jealous.
Yeah,
Old mate
because
King, old mate Earl, whatever his name is,
Oh, the first guy.
the long forgotten.
Yeah.
Didgeridoo.
And then the
His
king.
sons had their heads in their asses.
Yeah. And then the next.
Didgeridoo.
I think that's an aboriginal word, Jasper.
Possibly.
There were no didgeridoos in this episode, like the Ivor trial one.
That's what this show needs.
They didn't go to Australia and fight the Aborigines. That would be a one-sided battle. What?
I gotta be honest though, I wasn't expecting Ivar to lose. Like now we have to wait so much longer to see his chess game with Alfred.
Have you seen the trailer for season 6?
No, is it out already?
Yeah.
I haven't. No.
He's like in Russia and shit.
Yeah, that's not.
Well, I've
they are like up there. They used to like raid into Russia.
Yeah. Well, those Swami people, remember the Swamis or the Samis? They were like Russian-ish Vikings.
Mm.
So yeah, he's spawning around there
The
now.
cunts of like the poison and shit that just never came to anything.
Oh yeah, I got that going. The Samis. I thought Ivar's exit though made little to no sense. He's like in a fortified like stronghold with a wall and all these people, and then
And everyone would recognize his face.
well, no, he had the Chinaman hat on.
I mean, he didn't pull off the. He didn't stop pulling his angry face.
No,
and
then he still had the leg braces.
Him crawling to the thing and climbing into it. No, that can't be Ivar.
Well, someone knows. So it did show.
There was a guy.
There was a guy.
They kept on cutting to. It was like, yeah.
Yeah,
And like as he was on the back of the thing, the guy handed him a dagger, so it was like somebody helped him.
Yeah, well, he would have had to have helped. Like some guys, like, yeah, you can help on the back, mate.
That's clearly like this tyrannical dictator that's been
hanging
and burning.
I did love like when he was out the front, like, what? We're friends.
How cool was the Buddha guy?
Yeah,
screaming about like
How
did he not get an arrow in his head?
That was great.
I would have fucking shot an arrow straight at that.
Yeah, the same with Bjorn's speech, and it was awesome and like emotional and stuff.
I thought Bjorn was gonna cry.
Yeah, his voice was breaking. It made sense. You know, I grew up with you people, but I feel like there would have been one guy's like,
Ivar says it. Yeah, exactly. Not everyone would have been loyal. Like, people would still be loyal to Ivar. Obviously, there was because that guy helped him out of town.
He had one guy at least, but
he was at the other. He was at the other end.
But still,
he'd been sent to the other gate.
Still, there would have been more.
Clearly,
than
there
him.
wasn't.
Clearly, no one else wanted Ivar in charge.
Bjorn is protected by the gods.
He rules over you with tyranny and cruelty. He wants to destroy everything, my father. He's lying. Kill him. He's lying.
Yeah, well, that's the same. Like when he comes through the gate and the gate closes and they form a shield wall.
Yeah.
It's like that's bullshit. But then it's like, well, but
that's sort of the mythology of the show, isn't it?
Ironside. I mean, that's the mythology.
But he's also one of the sons of Ragnar, and they're protected by the gods. So that's sort of the mythology.
But even more so, Bjorn, because his name is Ironside because he can't get hit in a battle. Like, that's his thing.
Yeah.
Ragnar for Sigurd, of course.
Well, yeah, Sigurd just played the fucking lute.
He was a bard.
Yeah. He was nobody liked him. I did like how Ivar is like smart and tactics and intellect.
I was glad to see he hasn't lost his touch. Like, because he kind of seemed to be pretty stale this season.
A lot of this season he wasn't doing much, really. But yeah, in the end, even though he had all that, the reason he failed is because he was like inhuman and a tyrannical dictator. And
he failed because he got betrayed.
Yeah.
Well, no, but he got betrayed because he murdered his son. Like
he murdered her son.
Yeah,
Very true, very true.
But if his people were with him, if like Kattegat was with him, he would have like...
He would have shot Ben. Like,
yeah. The reason that everything went wrong for him is because he was like an inhuman dictator.
He barely had any resistance.
Yeah, you can be smart and intelligent and battle savvy, but if you're a piece of shit...
He had the opportunity too, because she was like, do you want to be feared or do you want to be loved? You know? And he's
but that's the point though, right? Each one of the sons is supposed to be a different aspect
of Ragnar's personality, yeah.
He's got the smarts and the battle sense, but he doesn't have the compassion and the loyalty.
He's a classic psychopath.
Yeah, which never ends up working. Apart from Stalin, who reigned for like 50 years, I guess, and just had a stroke.
Yeah, but then that's
like a bad luck.
I'm going to get beer.
Yeah,
you can continue to talk.
Can you grab me one too, please?
Hey, give me a beer, you cunt.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of tyrannical dictators in the years, though, hasn't there? Like,
yeah. I mean,
I feel like if you haven't lent your way into seizing that power, becoming that power, you're just born into it or whatever, you're destined to get people like that, though.
You have to understand one thing, that Bjorn is not your friend. He is your enemy.
I don't know. I don't know that there's a lot of parallels between fucking Stalin and Ivar.
I mean, they both have mustaches.
I do like Ivar's hair now, though, the way he's got like the ponytail going.
Yeah, he's going with that. I just like the idea that even though he's incredibly battle savvy and smart, that the reason...
I can't do this.
Nah, keep it going. This is great footy. Fuck off. This is the promo. You know what? Do you want me to...
No, I think I got it, eh? No, I heard a pop, but it didn't do it.
You gotta...
I know Jasper showed me before, it just never works. I can't do it with a lighter either.
Oh, well, you weren't doing it. You're doing like...
I've done that.
You gotta, like that.
Oh, so it's actually about having the finger there.
Yeah,
right.
leverage.
I was using the thumb. But
Yeah, I use my thumb. But
I'm so glad that's on. That's for everyone to see.
Don't worry, I'll cut that in editing.
Yeah. Wink, wink.
Yeah, no, I just like the idea of that smarts will only get you so far. You need to be compassionate. Like, Peterson talks about chimpanzees, like tyrannical chimpanzees two beta males will team up and rip them apart, but where the compassionate males that delouse them and
yeah, it's a lot.
are nice. They reign for longer.
It's a lot.
You wouldn't get ripped apart by chimpanzees.
It's a lot harder to backstab someone who is nice to you than it is to someone who tries to.
You don't want to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that's not necessarily true, but the good outweighs the bad, sort of thing. Like you don't have enough pros to decide to turn.
Yeah.
We played together when we were children. I am not your enemy. Ivar is your enemy.
No Floki in this episode? You reckon he's dead?
No.
No, okay, honestly, after watching the episode before it twice, there's no way they would have had him breathing that often for him to be dead.
Yeah, but now
If
they
that
went to
makes
show
sense.
he
They
was
went out of
alive.
his way to show he made multiple breaths instead of just the one exhale.
Yeah.
He's got to be alive, which is fucking stupid. He should be dead.
Volcano
After a
explode.
volcano
plastic
erupting
fly.
while he's in there. I did notice too that it's not just like a natural thing of the cross.
No,
He
no,
actually
no.
picked up like a fucking bucket and shit.
Yeah,
There
somebody
was
had already been there.
a goblet and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I thought was odd.
An explorer had already reached the...
Going all the way into that specific cave and left a bucket. And
There was
made a cross.
because there was a shaft of light coming down, so there was another entrance.
Yeah.
That's true. He
I mean, either that or it was just like a vision or a hallucination. He was on magic mushrooms again.
Yeah, that's possible.
We didn't
like I
see
said,
him
it was like,
take magic
it was like
mushrooms.
the methane gas building
I could
up.
honestly live with his arc ending there. Honestly,
I mean, yeah, it's just like everything you've achieved, everything that
I
you
love
work for means
Floki's
nothing.
character, but like that was like the symbolism of like the whole fact that the Viking way dies and Christianity takes over.
Yeah.
That's what I felt like. As we were
He's the
discussing
old
last
way.
time,
Yeah.
I felt like that was kind of perfect, even though I felt terrible for Floki.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll come back as like a born again Christian.
That would be tedious.
Yeah, it would be kind of pointless.
Yeah. Apple stand 8.9 because they've done that again and again.
Talking to Athelstan, like praying to Athelstan.
No, he needs to be actual Jesus.
Actually, Jesus,
Yeah.
his hair grows out instantly.
Yeah.
He's got like long hair.
Turns water and people's blood into wine.
Do you think they're ever going to show Old Mate again? Like the cunt who totally betrayed Floki?
I hope not. I don't care about that
But he's just
storyline
like, there's
anymore.
like two of them left.
I don't know.
It would be
I'm
nice
pretty
to
sure
see
there's
them
more
starve to
more
death.
than just that family. It's a
They
bit
They
weird
killed a
because
lot, a lot of them died.
because there was a bunch of people there, and like there's a bunch of people that got outs, that got kicked out.
yeah,
Like there was
exiled.
like an entire family and
There
all
was
this
an
shit, and all these
entire family.
kids and
Yeah.
shit. But I wasn't when that all happened. I wasn't aware that there was all these other hangers on to that family. So presumably there's also hangers on to the family that's still
I
alive.
believe they came with like, I don't know, 3 long ships or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm just done with that storyline. Like I would like Floki to just rock up later on somewhere else in Russia. And I was like, what are you doing here? And he's like, I can fly. I found
But
Christ.
he's gonna fly like standing up.
Like flapping his little hands like wings.
Like a hummingbird.
Or his bloody mustache whiskey. Actually, no, that would be terrible.
It would be amazing.
Amazingly terrible.
But it would be terrible.
Said the show is dead.
It would be great, but from a
I believe they
serious
call it jumping the shark.
Yeah, because Fonzie jumped a shark in like season 5 of Happy Days. Because Henry Winkler knew how to ski.
But not ride a motorbike.
Yeah.
There he goes!
So yeah, no, in conclusion, I thought this half of this season was far more satisfying than the first half.
Yeah, a lot more. Like I said, a lot of the dead weight got cut away,
And
and that was satisfying. But I feel like there's been much more. Other season finales have been a lot more engaging and theatrical and
Taking to Paris.
compared to Taking to Paris, this is fucking pretty ordinary.
Ragnar faked his death.
Yeah.
You know that was actually Bjorn who did that?
Oh really?
Pretended he was
The
dead in
history
the
books,
coffin
yeah.
and came in.
Yeah, because it was 100 years after the first hit on England or whatever, wasn't it?
Yeah, the raid on Lindisfarne and the raid on Paris was like 100 years apart. And the show was like 20.
2 days. What did you
Yeah.
say about fast travel?
There were enemies nearby.
It wasn't as bad as Game of Thrones. That episode 6 to season 7 of Game of Thrones. Like, what the fuck is what is going on here?
Let's not start there.
Yeah.
You're wearing a Game of Thrones shirt.
I am.
I should say winter is dead. No, what did you think of this half season, young Mark?
No, I thought it was really good. Like, it actually, a lot of the arcs paid off, especially Magnus's.
Yeah,
I still
that was
wish
satisfying.
that Lagertha could have been forgotten in time, though. She feels like she's just lingering. She should have gone back to the farm and just stayed there.
Well, I think she would have been. It would be fine. The problem is that the actress is far too attractive.
She should be dead. Like I thought about this exact thought when she was looking at all, like, you know, remember that scene where she was looking at all Egbert and all that sort of shit. I thought to myself, she slept with that cunt. Like, how?
And she didn't sleep with her. Judith. Where was that scene?
Regardless, how fucking old is she by now?
Well, we kind of did math the last review we did, and she could be just 50.
Yeah.
Because she was a lot younger than Ragnar, wasn't she?
But the actress is so, like,
beautiful.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah, I know that.
And so, like, you can't. It's. I think it's very difficult for them to portray her. They're doing their best. She's all pale and she's got sunken eyes and she's got big fucking scars.
Weird hair.
She's got a weird haircut.
She's limping.
Yeah, she's speaking croaky, but she's still fucking gorgeous.
And they're showing us.
This transition all happened in this half of the season.
That's true.
Before that, she didn't age a day from when she was with Ragnar till like now.
Yeah.
And now it's just like.
The only thing that I've learned is that life is about suffering.
I don't know. I'm just done with her character.
I'd be fine if she was like a supporting character to like Bjorn, and she was like this old, like disheveled, weird, eccentric lady. But I don't want her to have like a leading role, and like her ambition and her arc is done. Like she's done that. She's failed, and now she can just be like.
She failed. What did she fail at?
Well, she lost Kattegat, she had a miscarriage, she murdered one of her husbands. Like she said, life is suffering.
She had a very good arc.
Ragnar? Oh no, she left Ragnar. Ragnar cheated on her.
And then she goes back years later as an old person going, fuck, I should have stayed with Ragnar, eh?
She probably should have stayed with Ragnar.
Yeah. But you know, he was interested in praying mantis lady.
Well, only for one night. And then it was just kind of like, well,
she rocked up, remember? That was when Lagertha was still there.
I know, she rocked up and Lagertha left, and he was like,
let's have a threesome. That's basically what his proposal was.
Well,
I mean, she was going to do it with Athelstan.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess that was one night though, wasn't it?
I don't know. Could have been their sex slate every night.
Could have been one lingering thing.
Romances? On-set romances, George? Did you notice anybody? Didn't find yourself involved in one? No? Don't want to talk about it?
The script.
Did you find love at all?
Character.
That's alright.
Yeah.
Sure.
What do you think about the Dune adaptation, Jasper? Do you think Denise?
I don't know yet. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, not enough information.
Yeah, it might be good. Might be terrible.
Quentin Tarantino, Star Trek.
Yeah.
Is that even happening?
No. It was never going to happen.
There's no way life could be that good.
There's no way we could deserve that.
Yeah. Well, at the moment, the J.J. Abrams Kelvin timeline movies are done.
Thank fuck.
Yeah, because they were so good.
Mate, we got to review them soon.
We will.
Are you watching the Netflix original series?
What Discovery?
Yeah. I reviewed the first episode and I'm still editing it. It goes for like 20 minutes. Oh man, it's just. Are we getting?
So
into
the
this?
editing process is as bad as watching an episode?
It's tedious. It's not start. If it was like.
I think my kids made it through like 3 episodes.
Yeah, well.
It's terrible. It's
I
a
didn't
terrible,
bother.
terrible,
The conclusion.
terrible.
The conclusion that I came to was like, if it was Random Space Adventure number 7, it would be alright, and the writing would be.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna put the name Star Trek on it, like a 50-year-old franchise, like
Which is iconic.
arguably the greatest sci-fi series of all time, then it needs to embody.
Very arguably. But yes,
Arguably,
it is definitely.
It's in the
up
top
there.
5, hands down.
It's in the top 3.
Yeah,
it's in the top
it is.
3.
It's probably one of the, it'd definitely
Star
be
Trek.
the best TV series. I don't know if it's like the best.
Well, you know,
What's better
that's
than
the thing though.
Star
At that
Wars?
point,
What about, like,
it
Dune?
comes down to opinion though.
That's a book.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's like the best TV.
Oh,
series.
yeah,
That's about sci-fi.
Well,
in general.
that's
Yeah,
what
I'm
I
just talking
said.
about
But at the
sci-fi.
same time,
Okay,
that comes down to opinion though, because you're never going to get an absolute.
You know what's really good actually? You know
best.
what's actually a really fucking good sci-fi series? The Expanse.
I thought you were going to say Farscape.
Sliders.
How bad is it that that's a joke?
We're just laughing at this show. Creator's like, oh. No, yeah, The Expanse. Was that on Netflix?
No, yeah, it is.
Everything's on
But
Netflix.
they pulled the plug after the second season, I think.
I can't believe made it to
And I've been listening to the audiobooks, and it's actually really fucking good.
Really?
Yeah. But the book series. Is
I remember listening to like book
Just
5
being the
halfway
Netflix
through.
adaptation.
I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Well,
It's really good.
yeah, okay, yeah, alright. They ain't watching really Hell Blacks, right?
Fuck.
Like me on Patreon. Skull! Oh, the Twilight Zone's come back.
Twilight Zone.
I got to piss like so badly.